Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a very special Halloween edition of Through the Keyhole. This is a series where we take a look at players' camps that are found in and around Fallout 76, get some inspiration and a few ideas for our own builds. So let's jump in and marvel at what people have for us, shall we? Okay, so usual orders of business before we get cracking. These are not my camps, apart from this one here. These are ones that I've just found in and around the game. And if you'd like to appear in a future episode of the series, do head on over to the channel's community page and find all the details listed on there for how you can send your camps in to me. And hopefully we'll be seeing you in a future episode. So, let's get to camp number 1. So, here we are up in the forest, first and foremost. And the first thing that struck me about this particular build was the front aspect there, I suppose. The use of those jailhouse walls, the cage walls there, to sort of create almost towers. They don't provide a huge amount of protection for the crops there, unfortunately, but they do certainly give it character and a unique look, which is really, really cool. They do work quite well with the haunted house chain link fences as well. The colour contrast is a bit odd, but what can we do? It does look cool. It's definitely a different take that I like a lot. It's something very unique. And we have a very, very cool spooky haunted house at the back. I did a few of those Halloween trees as well in the front here, which gives it a little bit more, so a little bit spookiness, and it blends better with the forest environment as well. It sort of brings that inside the limits of the camp, which is cool. The kind of graveyard going on out here. Good use of all the new bits and pieces. We're going to see plenty of those today, as I'm sure you can imagine. Doing reasonably well on the pumpkin racks there as well, which is always cool to see. There's a couple of older pieces here as well, blending in quite nicely as well, which is always good. I do very much like the use of the hay bales that you sort of see in the front area of this as well. They go well with the spooky Halloween stuff, which a few people have seized on, so always cool to see those as well, mixing up different things from different sort of packs and times of the year to make a cool looking camp. So we've got the front porch out here that's not got a huge amount on it, just a couple of benches, but does the job nicely. Breaks up the otherwise square texture, so always a good move. Nice little decoration out there for the Halloween display. Carrying on the same thing down this side as well. We'll move on inside. I do like those window boards as well, and they are a very, very cool addition. And they also work for other things other than just putting over windows. They snap to walls, basically, but you can position them wherever you like, so hopefully those should represent a decent bit of versatility in future builds, which is always cool. So heading on inside, we've got a nice practical main room here. Skeleton just standing there behind your shoulder, waiting to surprise you, which is cool. Of the Halloween vendor there as well. Not sure what we've got in this room under the stairs, as unfortunately that door was locked, so I have to admit, I am curious as to what's down there. Bathroom maybe, but possibly something else as well. Maybe an entrance to a shelter or something like that. And a spooky nurse peering out the window as well. It's been a popular little trick, that one, since the last few weeks. That's very cool to see. Up the brand new staircase. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of using these style of staircases inside a structure like this, just because obviously they don't sit close to the wall, they stick out a bit, and it's difficult to get railings around them. This player's done a nice job of piling furniture around it so you don't just fall down the stairs, and it sort of takes the eye away from it, which is quite cool. Got some nice stuff on display in here as well. Good use of the spooky wallpapers that we've got at the moment. Go well with the current building set. Yeah, you can actually, with some persuasion, move the stairs away from where you want them and snap railings in and then move the stairs back. It's going to be a bit finicky to do, but it can be done. Of course, if it goes belly up, you have to start everything all over from scratch and replace your camp unit, because it can just flat refuse to let you move things sometimes, but less so recently I've found, but it can happen. So there's the risk you take if you do want to try and get some railings around those particular staircases, but it can be done. Do like that new Halloween door as well, the haunted house door there as well. It's very, very cool. I've added it to my own build as well recently, and yeah, I think that's going to have some good use beyond Halloween as well. It's quite a nice internal door. A few nice bits and pieces. Get another look at the front area here, the sort of graveyard. As I say, you can see those hay bales that fit in quite nicely. Always good to use the oil lamps, things like that on these sorts of builds as well, because the sort of orange warm glow works somewhat better than more electric lights do most of the time, though we're going to see an exception in a bit. there we go. Very cool camp number 1. So camp number 2 is a similar vibe, different area of the forest, but a slightly different take on it, which is cool. Okay, and we've got it fenced off with the chain link fences, which I'm very, very happy to have. I do like those things. Got a couple of separate buildings in this, which is cool as well, and use of the foundations to create a kind of pathway, which is good. Nice as well, like that. So we'll get this large gate open. I wasn't able to use in my build, but good to be able to see it in action here, which is always cool. When it'll persuade to be closed. A few little bits around the decoration here outside. There's a couple of areas where the decoration is a tiny bit thinner on this one, but I think this player is running into the same problem that we all do far too often of limited budget. But they've managed to organise that quite nicely, so the areas that have less stuff are areas you'd expect to have less stuff, so that was nicely done as well. Nice little spot for the trick-or-treat bowl there. A few little pumpkins. Just little splashes of decoration around out here that are quite nice. Just give it a little bit of life. Make it a little less plain, which is always cool. A few practical bits down there. The flowers and stuff work quite nicely on here. Again, just breaking up the surfaces a little bit and giving a little bit of interest. I think the staircase down the middle is quite cool. It's something I've not seen done very often. You see we've got the decoration packed in here. I do like that hanging Nuka-Cola light up there. That looks like it came out of a bar from a pool table or something. I think I've missed the opportunity to pick that one up. I'm not sure where, but I would like to get my hands on that at some point. Nice work with the display cases there. A lot of nice bits of junk items around, looking fairly clean and fitting in quite nicely. The fishbowl light's looking cool as well. This little sitting area goes really nice together. The lodge sofas there and the fireplace as well work quite well for a Halloween build. And I do want to get my hands on whatever that gumball aquarium is if I see it again. That's cool as well. Yeah, nice bit of decoration down there, giving the place a reasonably full, lived-in look. As I say, areas that it starts to struggle a bit, the tabletop and the kitchen area. Those are areas we don't have a lot of stuff to decorate with anyway, so if you're going to sort of shave off some of the decorations, that's definitely the place to do it, as the options are limited anyway, so good thinking there. A little bit of access down to the river there. Before we head on, let's swing upstairs and have a look around up here, because there's some cool bits and pieces going on here as well. I did want to note, of course, we're having a look around most of these camps in the daytime, as I usually do for these videos, just because you can see better. Obviously, it's not quite as spooky in the daylight, but we can see what they've done a lot more clearly, which is always good. There's one exception at the end of the video that we'll see in a bit, but it's one of those that I just couldn't let slip away, even though it was night time, so we'll manage. Nice little bedroom here. Yeah, I might have gone for putting the door the other way around so it's easy to get around, but this is the eternal struggle with the doors, unfortunately. Nice little bit of display here and there just to flesh out the bathroom and stuff, and same with the bedroom as well. Looks very, very cool. Good thinking putting toothpaste and soap and stuff and toilet roll in the bathroom display as well. Little details that do a lot of work. Same with the paintings above the stairs as well. Those look very, very cool. And we will head on down. Different wallpapers and different floor textures as well in the kitchen there that sort of separate the space off quite nicely. If the counters didn't do that anyway, but of course they do. So heading on out and down, we'll have a little swing around the crafting area before we make our way over to the entrance. A little fire pit here, giving you a nice place to hang out by the river. Nice little view, I should imagine. Again, a few more of the oil lamps as well, the street lamps there. Gotta have a hot tub these days. Gonna have to work one of those into my builds before too long. Little raven perch there that is quite cool. It's kind of understated, that thing, which is always nice, but adds a little bit of flavour. Simple little crafting space. Got the generator tucked in the back there and everything you need around. Nice job on the merge there as well with the Tinker's Bench. Something I'm tempted to try and figure out and have a go at myself sometime. We'll see. I have mixed feelings about that, but it does look good, so hard to argue with that. Very, very cool. Oh, we'll swing back on out, have a little look at this sort of front garden area as we make our way over to the exit there. Nice little skull candles there on the coffin. That spooky graveyard vibe. Again, it's something that would look probably a little more spooky at night, but take the opportunities when they come up, and as I say, we can see what's been done a little more clearly in the day. I've tucked the vendor on the outside there just to make sure it's available, but doesn't impact the rest of the build too much. And as with the last one, we've got a couple of trees built in that look very good as well. So camp number 3. Again, working with the environment and the trees, and in this case, the buildings as well, because we're just near Charleston Fire Station for this one. So I've got a very cool little build. This fence on the end is an interesting choice. I mean, it closes it off, which is cool. But obviously the focal point is the church here. I do like the use of the marquee lights there to create the kind of crucifix on the wall there. Options for that are obviously a little limited, but that came out quite well. It does look cool. Nice bit of decoration on the front aspect. I do like this graveyard. Surprisingly, my initial reaction to the electric lights on the Halloween vendor was that it'd be a bit jarring, but given that you usually juxtapose them with more fire-based lights, the orange ones, rather than the electric ones. But this camp and the next one as well, actually, are both good examples of how that is not actually the case, so that's very cool to see. Looks very, very nice. Well-decorated little graveyard on the left there, and a nice detailed front entrance here that looks cool. A few little bits and pieces around. Again, just dresses it up quite nicely and draws the eye towards the door, which is where we're going to head on in. So you can squeeze through these curtains if you put them over doorways, and they do look quite cool. They are a bit of a problem to get through when you're just walking slowly, though, so we'll have to surge through a little bit. But if you're moving at normal speed, you can get through nicely. So the inside of this church is very, very nicely done. Obviously got a bit of a funeral going on. Do you like the thought and the level of detail that's gone into this? It really, really shows. It's really, really cool. And the choice of table for the coffin there. Using the bar as an altar there is maybe, well, I suppose it's more of a pulpit than an altar, in fact. But maybe a tiny little bit sacrilegious. But at the same time, good thinking. A couple of pianos there. Nicely decorated little back room and living space here. I really like the stacked bookcases there. Those are actually stash boxes from the Atomic Shop. But those are very, very nice. A little clean for some builds, but not this one. And they look very, very cool, especially stacked up like that. They work well as Halloween decorations as well, with the skulls and the candles and stuff on them. So, very, very cool. I'll head out to the side near the fire station over there. Got a nice little sitting area here. Do like the use of the Mothman lamp there. It fits quite well in this. And those chairs are very, very cool. They're hunting lodge chairs, I believe. Nice to hang out on as well, because they kick back their recliner chairs, which is fun. Yeah, lots of little bits of detail, splashes of decoration around, even on the pianos, things like that, always looking good. Not too dense and overly done, which can sometimes look a bit much, and of course, budget is always a consideration, so spreading it out neatly like this works quite nicely, and we come up with a very, very cool build. A few brains on the windowsill there, which I think is a shelf tucked on the window there. I'll have to have a look in a moment when we swing back round. We've got a nice little crafting area out here. I do like using these porches, sort of just snapped together like this as a gazebo type deal. It works quite well. I'm not sure why it wasn't snapped onto the side of the building. I'm guessing either the lie of the land or the building, the garage there, getting in the way. Yeah, I think that is a shelf just placed under the window there for a windowsill, isn't it? But a good little idea, that one, as well, if you want to put some window boxes and decoration out there. Might have to try and combine those ideas for a future build of my own, perhaps. Yeah, lots of very, very cool bits and pieces. I do like the drinking fountains included in there as well. They look particularly good at the ends of the aisle there. The fruit wreaths there from Meat Week as well, just squeezed in. Kind of blend in nicely, not too overt. It works well. A nice little spooky church, which is very, very cool. A really nice concept, this one. Really well done. And as we can see, I'm getting stuck on the crash barriers there at the edge of the road. So we'll make our way out eventually when I figure out where I need to go. Take a look at this. This is a very, very cool little build. Last but not least, camp number 4. This is one that popped up on stream actually earlier in the week, which is very cool. We had a little look around. Obviously, we've been heading around to Trick or Treat, so seen quite a lot of cool camps while we're doing that. Really, really nice decoration on this in particular. It's absolutely outstanding. As you can see, obviously the night's drawing in on this one, but lots and lots of lighting and a very nice spooky vibe. Very, very cool. Even though I stumbled back across this a second time off stream, I thought, well, I can't let this one get away. It's too good. We've got a little visitor there. head on up to that front porch, and absolutely oodles of decorations here, stacked in there. Even the corn and stuff blends in quite nicely at the back there. Little witch in her cauldron. And a little vendor area. As I said before, I did think the lighting might be a bit harsh with it being electric on those vendors, as opposed to the rest of it, which is obviously candle and fire based. But it works better than I expected, so that's very, very cool. Good choice on the paintings there as well. Those suit the spooky vibe. This hidden door is very, very cool. If you haven't seen it, check it out in the Atomic Shop while it's still there. It's a cool idea. Not as secret as it could be, but nonetheless, it's just that cool. You kind of have to. I do love these high-tech weapon displays. I'm not sure I personally would have chosen them for a spooky build, but it does sort of showcase the fact that they light up very nicely, which is cool. I hadn't really realised that. So happy about that. But very, very cool. I do like the all the weapons on display and stuff like that. Keeping the reminder that this is a Vault Dweller's home, if nothing else. Albeit a spooky one. Cool little sitting area there that I like. We'll come around this corner into a very, very cool sort of music room, I suppose. Keeps that spooky haunted house, oldie world vibe as well, which is very cool. Looks absolutely fantastic. I didn't manage to get that drum kit back when it was in the Atomic Shop, so I'm going to have to keep my eyes out for that again as well, because that is cool. And the organ's looking great there as well. Managed to pick both of those up. Nice little bit of decoration in here. Very, very cool space. Gotta love a table full of plushies as well. They always make me remember that I'm still missing a few, especially the Atomic Shop ones that I need to pick up. Love the decoration out on this crafting area as well. Nice little patio for that. Got all the benches spaced out nicely, and a little station for Commander Deguare there. But topped off with little bits of decoration just to fill it in and keep that busy vibe that this camp has. But has been pulled off very, very nicely. This is yet another great example, as I'm so fond of pointing out, as I'm sure you're used to by now, of building small and decorating a lot. And it works really, really well here. Those candles on the wall look cool as well. Convenient place to put the punch card machine as well, and the coffin stacked up at a bit of an angle there to give it that kind of off-kilter vibe, that spooky vibe, which works really well, especially with the candles. Very, very cool. Two types of those coffins as well. Some of them are just display objects, and some of them function as stash boxes as well, which is fun if you've managed to pick those up. I think they're in the Atomic Shop at the moment if you're looking for something of that sort. And even the Blood Eagle totem works well up there. Probably a good call not having it powered though. So yeah, very much like, particularly this front entrance is very, very striking to look at. As I say, I would have expected that green in particular to be a bit of an awkward contrast, but it works very, very well. So an absolutely awesome camp. So there we go, 4 very, very cool spooky Halloween builds, and I very, very much enjoyed having a look around. So I should say there's plenty of very, very cool camps out there on that Halloween vibe. This is a really great time of year for exploring other people's camps, so some awesome work done by everybody there. Massive congratulations. So, thank you very much for watching, folks. I do hope you found this useful, interesting, and got a few ideas and some inspiration. If you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping subs and likes, checking out the social media links, merch store and channel memberships down below the video as well. Support is hugely appreciated. And as I said at the beginning of the video, if you're interested in sending your own camps in to appear on a future episode, do check out the channel's community page as well. You can find all the information on there on how to go about that. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Do catch some of the live streams if you get the chance. And I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.